Hello. January 45, British and Netherlands turn. I got their purchases available here. So the Netherlands are going to buy a fighter with their $10. And the British got the shit kicked out of their income with convoys and losing a capital. The UK British had $1 left, so they had to take all $8 from the Lend-Lease and wartime economy stuff, and the FEC lost their capital, so they lost all their money and it went straight to the bank. I kind of prefer the old way where you take the money and you give it to the captor. Usually when we're playing with a bunch of dudes here, that's how we do it, but since I'm playing a game and I didn't want to house rule everything out of it, because then you guys wouldn't know what the hell I was doing. So we're kind of keeping it a little bit more true to the game rules. So what I've got here is I've got the British are going to buy an artillery and a destroyer. The Australians are going to buy a sub and a militia. I've done all the combat moves and I've done all the non-combat moves. So let's show you everything over here. Non-combat move. This transport has moved from New Zealand, brought these two dudes up here. Maybe they can join up with the Americans doing something next turn. We'll see. I can move one more move. So you know what? We're just going to put this with the Dutch over here. We're going to move to this sea zone. That way we're a little more in range of some other stuff along the coast. Not really, but you never know. It might be required. I got this battle over here. That destroyer was located here in Sea Zone 124 and with the commander, and the two aircraft came out of Java. So they've flown just 2 spaces. And that's just a little battle. That's against these two light carriers with aircraft. See if we can't chip away some of this Japanese stuff so the Americans couldn't kill their big ships. Over here we've got this dude from here. I could have gone that way, but I would have lost the guy right away. And these guys can't blitz, so this guy's going to stay alive for an extra turn. First, the Japanese would have been able to take these two, and that's it next turn. So we just jumped out of the way. We took this from Russia, and we're going to attack with these two guys, one from Madras and one from New Delhi, along with the commander, and we're going to attack the Russians over there. We don't want the Russians gobbling up any more of our money either. Alright, and now on this side, some happenings are happening. Here, let me just get the camera. There we go. We can more or less see what's going on. So what all happened is the destroyer from, well, let's show the combat moves first. We have an amphibious assault here into Portugal, which is undefended. So we brought a commander along with a mech and an infantry from here. And then we non-combat moved the 3 transports that were there to here, along with the destroyer that was here. 1, 2, 3, right? And 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, whatever, however you want to work it out. So we got that going on. We still have 4 units over here, or 3 units over here we can move. So we'll see what we do there. The other attack was, there was a main German fleet here. So what we did was we took the battleships. I believe there's a cruiser and a destroyer here that moved in there. And we had a battleship, a damaged battleship, a cruiser and a destroyer over here, in just off of Nova Scotia there. And they also got involved from their Navy base 1, 2, 3, right? And then we threw the fighter from London. It's gone 1, 2, and it can go 1, 2 back. Alright, so those are our attacks and all of our non-combat moves for this country. The Netherlands have nothing they can move on the land, so they've thrown in their fighter along with, and they're buying a new one. So there's that. And I forgot to show this. That is the wartime economy roll for Japan. They got an extra 8, so they had 45 plus 10 bonuses for 55 plus 8, so Japan's at 63. Alright, I have this naval battle set up on the battle board. Both sides have commanders. Everybody's been moved up appropriately. But let's just get this this little stuff out of the way here. So that one is done. No contest. So the Germans lose that. And the British go up a buck. And the Germans go down a buck. Easy enough. Alright. Now we got this little thing over here. So there's a +1 for all the British stuff because they have a British commander involved there. I do not believe that applies to the Dutch stuff, since the Dutch are not allowed to have a commander and they're a separate country, so they don't get the bonus. They just move at the same time. So I'm not going to give the commander bonus to the Dutch. Alright, so let's do that quick roll here. So we got a seaplane at 5, we got a destroyer at 5, and we got a fighter at 6. 2 at 5. That's 2 hits. And the fighter at 6 is also a hit, so that's an aircraft gone. Alright, so that's quite effective. We've knocked out 3 of their 4 possible hits. Now the Japanese are going to roll back 2 light carriers at 1, a fighter at 6, and a tactical at 7. So we've got 3 hits there. One of them has to be a plane, but yeah, we're already there. So 3 hits for the British. That was a nice roll, by the way. So now let's do this one here. 2 at 1, nothing. 1 at 6, that's a miss. 1 at 7, that's also a miss. So no hits. Man, that's brutal. So the Japanese have to lose some planes. Oh, and the tactical is actually at 5. I forgot it's defending rather than attacking. That's pricey. So we're going to take these off. There's still a fighter there. Now the British are probably going to decide to attack that again, so let's do it again. We got a seaplane and a destroyer at 5 with a commander, and we got 1 hit. That's all we needed. So fighter back, and that is a miss. Japanese couldn't buy a hit there. You figure they'd get at least 1 hit with those aircraft, but so the Japanese lost everything, and these planes are going to fly back to Java probably, or no, they'll go to Sumatra where that air base is. That'll work better. All right. What do we got here? We got a commander with 2 infantry, so they're attacking at 3. This guy defends at 4, 3, and 3. We got a first strike for the Russians. So the Russian first strike is at 3. Miss. Okay, the artillery's already fired. Now we've got 2 infantry at 3 with a commander. Nothing. And we got a light tank at 3. And a motorized at 4. So 1 hit. See, man, I think we're going to stop that fight here. They got no hits and they took 1 hit. So they lost a dude in defense, or by defense. So what we're going to probably do is we're going to retreat these dudes over to New Delhi. There we go. Alright, so this one is done. No significant findings here. This one here is back to the British. No money changes. And These guys are going to fly over to there into Sumatra. There we go. So that's gone. So that's it for the attacks and everything on this side. Just because I'm done on this side, I'm going to place my units on this side. So the place units will be, let's throw a militia over here just in case. And we're going to drop a sub here. Alright, so that is it for the Australians and the FEC. They lost all their money. FEC gets to collect 4. And the Australians get to collect 7. And there's no enemy warships in or south of the Netherlands, East Indies. So they get an extra $2, so they get 9 next turn. Not that it really matters, but you know, next turn they get their buy, but they don't get any units out of it, or they don't get to use the units. All right, now let's wander over to here. I had done Portugal already, so what we need to do is change the income. That was 1 down for the Germans. So the British go up to 17, and the Germans go down to 75. Man, that's brutal. It's insane. All right. Now we got that 1 sea battle right over there in Sea Zone 33, and we got it all set up here on the map. Oh, I got too much crap on my map over here. Just so that I didn't have to have the camera way the heck over there, I just put the 2 commanders in the middle here. It's easy enough to figure out there's a commander on each side. Alright, so we're going to do an attack. Everybody's been bumped up on both sides +1. So, we've got a battleship, and then we've got, let's put our hit dice over there. We got a battleship at 9. That's a hit. We've got a damaged battleship at 8. That's another hit. Let's use that color for these ones. I have way less of those dice. We're going to do 2 cruisers. And the fighter is going to be the off color. 2 cruisers at black. They're all at 7. Miss on the fighter. Oop. And that's 2 hits with the cruisers. Too bad. It would have been nice to kill a jet fighter. There we go. And then we got 2 destroyers at 5. Nothing. So 4 hits. Well, if you're Germany, and you can pick your hits here, you're probably just going to do this. Take off 4 subs. Now let's see what Germany does here. They got 3 light carriers at 2. Well, they got 1 hit. Remember, commander on both sides. They've got 5 subs at 4. There's destroyers, so there's no first strikes on either side with the subs, so don't worry about that. So 5 subs at 4. We've got one hit, that's it. We've got an advanced sub and 2 destroyers. They're all rolling at 5, so we'll get those out of the way. Nothing. A pair of cruisers at 7. There we go. We got 1 hit out of that. That's good. And 2 battleships at 9. There we go. 2 more hits. And now this will determine the air superiority round. We have 3 jets at 9. And we got 1, 2, 3 hits. And one of those has to be a plane. So I'm just going to put 2 up here and one of these dice to say it's a plane. Alright, so the Germans have taken off their casualties already. So we'll take these 4 off. What do we got here? 2, 4, 6, 7, and a plane. So the plane. And 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Everything's dead. Everything. Right? 2, 4, 5, 6, because it's already damaged. Damage it. 7. Ooh. 2, 4, 5, 6. And that's 7. 6, 7. Oh, I got the plane for 8. So there we go. This thing's also tough. So that was it. We only got 1 round out of that. Man, they only killed 4 subs. I was hoping they'd soften the German fleet up a little bit more for the American attack. I don't know if that's going to happen now. Because the Germans have a nice counterattack with that too. Alright, let's get rid of those. The commander may run away. Where did I put my commander in this pile of stuff? Somewhere in here. These are my... these are everything that's been eliminated this round. It's been very busy. Alright, so the commander is going to do his runaway roll. He is in a naval unit, so he's eliminated on anything higher than a 4. He's eliminated. So the British get to roll to see if they get him back. So for that reason, we're going to put him over here. And we're going to place these units over here. Another destroyer and an artillery in that factory. And I got to put the German survivors back. I can't believe they didn't lose a thing hardly. And I took away all the fleet cards, that way it would be easier to see what was fighting what. Okay, sub, 3 light carriers with 3 jets, a sub, an advanced sub, 2 destroyer or 2 battleships, 2 cruisers, and 2 destroyers. There we go, and a commander, of course. All right, yeah, man, that's brutal. Brutal. Okay, so what we got to do now is figure out the income for Great Britain and do its wartime economy roll. And then we're done Britain. Doesn't really have all that much to do here. So, wartime economy roll. 7, 8. All right, so $8. Let's collect that right now. $8. Wartime economy. It's $1 more than they had last turn, and they collect 17. I've learned my lesson with all these convoys, so I'm going to give them $7 in ones and 2.5 for 17. Hopefully I can do that. And yeah, the Germans just kicked their ass on convoys last turn here. Italy hasn't rolled its convoys yet this turn, so Germany took out 6 from this. I did the Suez reroute on this one this time. So I don't know if you can, there you go, you can see in here that we have the 6, the 2, and the 1. The Italian one still applies, but since the Suez Canal at Cairo and Gibraltar have both locked the Allies out of there, I've decided to do that alternate rule at the back of the book here, the Suez reroute. So we took 3 and 1 from the British and the French. We just added it to this side. So the British are actually at 6 and the French are at 1. And then on this side we did the same thing. We've got 3 extra British, so 4 and 2 for the French. All right, and that just makes it a little more fair because there's no way that they can get escorts in this line. You can still hit the Italians on this line, which is why I left their $1 in there. All right, so yeah, the British last turn they got pretty creamed here. We had 6 on the what do they call that? The Cape Town London line. We got 6 off of this line down here. This is 5 off of this line here, the London line, London Gibraltar line, and then the London Halifax line took off another 5 up there as well. So that one got maxed out. This one's got an extra $1 that can be taken off of it, and you can nail this one for the French for $1. So if Italy's going to do any convoys, it's only got $1 to hit off the French here and $1 to hit off the British on that one. But it can come around and out and nail this one here for 4 and 2. But it's got to come out to here, right? So we'll see if Italy's going to do something wild and crazy like that. Not really in Italy's best interest to be leaving the Med going this way. We're better off screwing with those Americans here. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure what else to do with this. Yeah, that's the British turn. So the British have, for a total income, they've got 17, 4, and 9 with bonus because of the no enemy warships in. And then they got a collective $8 of wartime economy that can be distributed amongst the 3. So there's a lot of money left here for Italy and Germany to start chipping away at again. And there's only 4 here. There's no capital to hit, so that should be okay. And this capital's not in danger of being hit, so it's probably fine. All right, now we're going to do the French turn. And the French, really, I don't know what to do with them. I'm just going to do them quick here. The French have $9. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build another colonial for $1. I'm going to lend lease the extra $5 to the British. No, I'm going to lend lease the extra $5 to the Americans because they can actually use that money this turn. So there you go. The French are lend leasing money to the Americans. Who knew? Because anything, I guess Britain, yeah, anything Britain builds next turn it won't be able to use. But if the Americans build something this turn, they'll be able to use it. Right? All the builds next turn are going to just be for defensive purposes. They're not going to be anything offensive. All right. Yeah. Oh, let's move this transport somewhere. Just to do something screwy, we're going to go 1, 2. I'm going to assume that these subs aren't going to block movement. We're going to scoop up 2 of these dudes, and we're going to throw them over here. And extra Madura. And there you go. The French have taken something with their transport that they're going to lose next turn. But it doesn't matter. France has actually attacked something. There you go. It's worth nothing. But there you go. Gives the Americans and the British somewhere to land, maybe. Unless the Italians kick them out. All right. And that is that. I don't have anything else to say for France. So France is going to collect their $2. They get no bonuses. And they're going to place a colonial in this place here in Morocco. Actually, let's just place that colonial in Spanish Morocco. Let's give them a couple of chips there. Get rid of those extra dudes. Although it kind of looks cool having extra dudes for France because they don't do anything. I could have attacked Vichy, but there's no real benefit to that. They would have given those boats to the Italians or the Germans, and they would have given that stuff up there to the Germans, which the last thing you need is to help the Germans defend themselves against the Allies here. All right, so France is going to do its wartime economy roll. It's collected its 2. And France is going to gain $2. Look at that. France has got 4. It can afford a colonial next turn. There you go. $2 for the French. Which is funny because I'll just give them their change back. There, the French have 4. And that is the French turn. The next 2 turns are Australia and Italy. So Britain's gone up $1 here. FEC didn't go up anything money-wise. France stayed the same. The place they took was worth no money. Germany went down $1 this turn. And Australia and the Netherlands are just giving Australia a bonus point. Not sure really, it doesn't really help, but it makes it less likely for the, now there's a blocker preventing movement of these fleets together. Right? I wish I had thought of that when I was in Japan. I thought those 2 aircraft would have been good enough. Alright, and I'll leave you there. On to the next player. January 45, Italian turn. We've got 2 destroyers, a sub, and 5 infantry. We have a bit of an attack going on here. The Italians decided, screw it, we're going to try and take out that American fleet. So, we've got the sub that was over here. We've got everything from a cruiser down that was here, including the aircraft. We're keeping the capital ships in here because that's worth a point, and we want to... I mean, the British don't have any capital ships left, but whatever. And we forgot about this... on the Russian turn, I did not notice that they had this coastal sub here, so this torpedo boat destroyer and a couple of aircraft coming from the commander in Cairo. We're going to go deal with that. The torpedo boat destroyer was on escort duty over here. He's now over there. If it was the Russian turn and I'd noticed it, I might have taken out that transport, but whatever. I missed it, so on we go. Those are the only real 2 attacks. Down here, I could attack the Russians, but all my units are out of... They're not in a good spot. So if I take these 2 dudes and I attack there, then this stuff can all just attack these 2 dudes and take this place. So there's no real win-win for these Italian dudes here. So we're just gonna chill out here. We'll see what happens. I got no attacks down there. I got nothing in range down here except for this 1 infantry, and then single infantry attacking anything around here is kind of a waste of time. 1 at 2 versus that waste, you know. So we're just gonna leave that there so that somebody can't just wander through there, and maybe we'll take a hit from somebody else. We might move him in non-combat, but right now we're happy with where he is. All right. Now, yeah, let's get this rolled out here. Let's start with this little one here since we're right here. So we've got a tactical at 8 because he's got a commander and a fighter at 7, and then a torpedo boat destroyer at 2. It's that easy. And the coastal sub defends itself at 2. Or did it defend at 2? Yeah, defend at 2. So I'm just going to set up a roller board right here. Okay, you can see the board and you can see the fight. Perfect. So we've got 1 at 8 for tactical, miss, a fighter at 7. That's a hit. We're done. Torpedo boat destroyer 2 back, miss. Just like that. So that guy's gone, and we took no casualties. Handy. I'm just going to add that to my giant stack of dead. This has been a very busy turn, so these are the casualties throughout the turn as we go here. Everybody's represented. And the Americans got to go next. Who knows what's going to happen. Alright, so this is the battle board for what's going on here. Both sides have a commander. So we've got a coastal sub, 2 subs, 4 destroyers, a seaplane, 3 cruisers, a fighter, and a tactical. But we have a commander, so guess what? Everybody bumps up 1. Voila. Now, we've got the defense. I cannot remember where the Iowa class ship hits at, so let's double check that before we get too excited here. I think it only has 2 hits as well, if I remember correctly. Just moves 3. Iowa class. 9 and 9 attack and defense. And it only has 2 hits because it doesn't specify that it has extra hits. So we're at 9, but we're going to bump that up to 10. Can you even see that on my camera? Oh yeah, barely. And these guys go up to 9 and 7 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 3s for the fleet carriers here. So there's quite a few hits available, but if the Italians can knock this down at least halfway, the Germans will have no problem hunting and killing as many things as possible, and the odds of an amphibious assault anywhere will be eliminated. So I'm not even going to show that stuff that's below 0 there, or below 3. All right, let's do some rolling here. And of course, I gotta go get my tip from the other area. I'll shut that furnace noise down. Okay, so we've got 1 tactical at 8, target selected. That's a 6. I should probably not use that die. It's a little hard to see on the camera. All right, and then we got a fighter and 2 cruisers. So I'm going to use the blue for the fighter and then purples for the cruisers here. They're all at 7. Fighter's got air superiority. So the fighter has a hit and one of the cruisers has a hit. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw this up here. That's a aircraft hit. Actually, what we're going to do is we're just going to decide to take one of these guys off right now. They defend lower. And a regular hit for a cruiser. Man, I can't remember if yeah, my tactical hit. Okay. Now we have 4 destroyers and a seaplane, all rolling at 5. 1, 2, 3, close enough. Some of those were kind of hangers, but not really. They weren't going to roll anywhere else. So 5, and then we have a coastal sub at 3 because of the commander, and that's a miss. We got a total of 2, 4, 5 hits on the Americans, plus the aircraft that's already been taken. So now if you're the American player, these guys can still land aircraft if they take 1 hit. Did I forget to roll the subs at 4? I did. Alright. 2 subs at 4. Nothing. Anyway. Alright, so we got to take off 5 hits here. You don't want to take too many. We already lost 1 plane, so let's take one of these on the carrier, so that's damaged. Yeah, look at that, I got one of these kicking around. Damaged, okay. Take the 2 destroyers, so that's 3. Do you really want to take a cruiser, or do you want to keep hitting? Let's take one of these off for 4. That's 4. Can you see this? I hope you can. Can you even see that, what I'm doing there? There, yes you can, barely. Alright. So that's 1, 2 hits, 3, 4. This one doesn't count, so we need to take 1 more hit off. And I don't really want to lose a tactical. I have a safe landing zone for these aircraft, so let's take a hit on one of these battleships. Actually, if we take a hit on all 3 of these battleships, then we can keep these destroyers in the fight. Let's do that. Damaged, damaged, and damaged to 9. Alright, but they are going to roll at 9s and 8s. Alright. Then we can keep everybody alive. Alright, so let's roll out our attacks then, our defenses. So I will class it 9 or 10, sorry, because there's a commander. How did you miss that? Alright, 2 battleships at 9, commander, remember. Okay, that's 2 hits. 2 fighters at 7. These take out planes, no hits, so the British planes are safe. The Italian planes are safe. Now 3 cruisers at 7. You can't really see that one. There's a 2, a 6, and a 6, so that's 3 hits. It'd be nice to get that with the planes, huh? Or the fighters. And I got 2 tacticals at 6. They got a target select 1 to 3, and I got one of them as a hit and a target select. So, and the target select has to be on naval. So what would you do? I would probably target select a cruiser, right? There we go. So we're not going to count that hit anywhere else. And 2 destroyers at 4. 1 more hit. And 2 carriers that were undamaged, so we're going to roll those at 3. Remember, there's a commander on this, so oh, look at that, 1 more hit. So we got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. Not counting the cruiser I already removed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. Now, do you do round 2? If you're Italy, probably not. What they have done though is they've seriously weakened this navy. If they do round 2, they're going to lose everything. Do they really care if they lose everything? Whew. This is not looking as good as you thought it might, hey? Probably should have brought those capital ships in. There would have been at least the battleships. There would have been 2 extra hits we're taking on these guys. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna just probably run away. We can retreat 1 space to a place that a vehicle came from. So we're gonna do that. Might as well. I'm going to retreat 1 space. So from there, I had a sub that came out of here. And the commander's still on that dude. And I got to fly this away somewhere. And these 2 planes are going to come back on this carrier eventually, but we're going to leave them there too, because they have to fly home somewhere. And we'll do all our non-combat moves together here. I want to take a look at this first before I do anything, because I might actually just move these 2 capital ships out here. You know what? We're going to do that. Should have brought them along in the first place. No, we're not going to do that. We are not. I should have brought them along, but since I didn't, it's too late to bring them now. It would have given me 4 extra hits there, but yeah. Okay, so that's it for that attack. That is over. So Italy's going to need to do some non-combats. Man. Alright, Italy's going to load up these 3 transports. They're going to drive them over to here. They're going to load them up. I'm going to take 2 tanks and 4 infantry. And they're going to take them over to here. So that's 1, 2, 3 from their own base. And they're just going to load up there. Well, I can just go here. I'm gonna load this place up here with 4 infantry and a pair of tanks, and they're gonna turtle this guy back one more. Russia may get a swipe at him, but I don't know if Russia's really gonna do that or not. Alright, I'm not sure what else to do there, so what we can do is we can make these planes land over here. And we can non-combat move this commander over here. And let's rail move one dude out of this stack here, so into there as well. So we'll just rail move another dude. In fact, we're just going to take that dude off and one of these off and give my greenie. That way we're not having a giant stack of whites that are impossible to count. Alright, so there's that move. We're going to bring these 2 battleships down here just to keep this stuff alive. Over here, I don't have a lot of moves I can make. I'm going to move this dude up here so it's harder to blitz. I can move all this stuff into Abyssinia. That's about the best I can do with it. No, we're going to move it all into Italian Somaliland. I don't know what I'm doing with this stuff, but we'll just leave it here for now. These guys can collect over here. And we'll throw a commander in there. Fuck it. Come and take my high value targets. Yeah. I don't know what else to do down here. They can't all make it there. This guy can only go that far. I knew I was struggling with that. Okay, anyway. Yeah, so these fighters here are going to scramble back to here. And we would have put this on escort duty here, just to cover our ass on the transport problem. And the seaplane from over there, we're gonna move 1, 2, so it's still got four moves left. Oh yeah, we're just gonna put it in Gibraltar. No, let's put it. Yeah, we'll put it in Gibraltar. Man, that retreat's not looking so handy for me. It's kind of a pain in the butt. All right, placing units. We're gonna place 3 extra dudes in Rome. And we have 2 dudes left behind that we're going to put over here, along with a sub and 2 destroyers. Done. That's the place units. Wartime economy is 7. We didn't actually take any places that were worth anything. We just had a couple of naval battles. So we're still at 18. Bonuses were at 6. We're at 18. And the 7 wartime economy. We're actually down $1 from what we had last time. Don't know where that dollar came from. I think the Germans might have leased it. There we go. So we've got 25, 2, 4, 6, so 31. All right, and that is that. That is the Italian turn. Now let's see what the Americans do. I'm just going to move this back onto the battle board. So the Americans will have all their capital ships damaged. They only have 1 hit left. I remember looking this up sometime a while back. The Iowa class, unlike the Yamamoto, only has 2 hits. It's got better armament, but not better armor. And it can move an extra space over a regular battleship. So those are the 2 reasons why you pay extra money. It hits 1 harder, and yeah. So I'm going to move this stuff back, and we'll figure it out. Not sure what the Americans are going to do next. See you then. July 44, American turn. I'm doing the purchases separately here, so I'll show them after. Combat move. This destroyer from here. This coastal sub from the Navy base here in the Marshalls. 1-2, 1-2. Combat move, all this stuff is fighting those 2 cruisers. That's a 1-2. They got the commander with the Navy. There's a land assault here. They scooped up 2 dudes from here and 2 dudes from there, along with a commander. So that's 4 elite Marines, a commander, a tactical, and a bombardment from 2 regulars and an Iowa of battleships. So that's that. What else do we got going on? Not much else on this side. We've got strategic bombing here from a medium bomber that came out of London. It's going to strategic bomb this factory here. Should have done that a long time ago. I didn't realize I had that bomber sitting around there. Actually, what is a medium? Yeah, no, that might be better in the long run. I'm not sure. We'll see. And we got a bit of a Navy battle here. I was not sure where to go with my Navy. I couldn't move half of my ships all the way back to the home because I had no Navy base anymore. The whole point of moving forward was to get a Navy base. Lost that again. I could have taken out this stuff here, but then I would have been out of position to do anything to protect or deal with anything. So what we're trying to do is eliminate some of this German Navy here. There's still going to be quite a few left. Quite a few actually, but we're trying to eliminate some of their units. So we got this set up here on the board. And I couldn't reach these carriers back home. And even if I built the plane, it would have been 2 sea zones away from the coast and the factory, so I couldn't have even placed the plane on those carriers. They would have just been sitting ducks in the water. So instead I figured I'd bring them along with this so they can at least absorb a couple of hits. I do have a safe landings area for these aircraft should this battle go sideways. Oh no, I don't. Shit. Oh, whatever. I don't think that this is going to go too well. So we got a commander on both sides. Everybody's been boosted up +1 on both sides. Oh, I guess that includes that these damaged carriers go from 0 to 1. Even though a fleet carrier has no defensive shot at all, I've just been giving them a +1. Whatever. Although they're damaged, so good enough. It's kind of an arbitrary thing anyway, so we're just giving them a freebie, because normally if you shoot, you don't shoot, right? Anyway, it'd be crazy driving the fucking carrier right up against a battleship and having a head-to-head, but go ahead. See how that works out for you. Anyhow, so that's this side, and let's just roll this one out. These are the remainders of the Italian attack. So I guess this is what to do. So we've got an Iowa class battleship with a commander that's damaged, so it's rolling at 9, and it gets a hit at 6. And then we got 2 regular just battleships with a commander that are damaged, so they're going to get 2 hits at 8. So let me get this out here. So we've got 3 hits so far. A tactical at 8 with target selection, and it missed. Okay, 2 fighters at 7. Oh, look at that, 2 fighters. That's 2 planes. And the only planes that the Germans have are jets. That's expensive. That's kind of why we're doing this. Those jets have been flying around causing problems. Okay, so 3 cruisers at 7. 1 more hit. 3 destroyers at 5. Oh, we did get 1 hit out of that. And we've got 2 fleet carriers at 1. Are you kidding me? I got 2 ones. Anyway, okay, 2 ones it is. Who knew? So there are 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage for the Germans to deal with. The Germans do have an easy landing for these things, so they're just going to take 3 off of here. And that doesn't include these fighters. We're going to take those 3 off of there. Man, I need some damaged chips here. That's 3, and that's 4, and that's 5. And we're going to do this. 6 and 7. Plus we lost these 2 fighters. So that's technically 9 damages. Alright, let's see what the Germans can do in a counterattack here. The Germans also have a commander, so their defense values have been boosted +1. So 3 light carriers at 2. Yeah, look at that, they got a hit. So there we go. That's 1. 1 sub at 4. It doesn't get surprise strike, but it does have target select. Miss. 1 advance sub. Miss. 2 destroyers at 5. 1 more hit. 2 cruisers at 7. 2 more hits. 2 battleships at 9. That's 2 more hits. And for the air superiority, 3 jets at 9. That's 2 hits. So, if you're the Americans, you're probably going to lose the fighters, because this way you can target maybe a damaged battleship. So the fighters are off. And what else are you going to lose? You might, now you got 2, 4, 6 more hits to take off. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. That's how I would pick it. You still got these things shooting next turn. Man, this is getting expensive. So one of the most expensive rounds I've had. But a lot of this has been slowly building up, and some of these attacks wouldn't be happening right now if it wasn't for the fact that it's getting a little bit gamey at the end of the game here. So there we go. The damage has all been taken off. Let's try that again. The Americans rolling 1 at 9. That's a hit. They're rolling 2 at 8. That's 1 more hit. They're rolling a tactical at 8. It's a miss. They're rolling 2 cruisers at 7. That's 3 hits total, and they're done. Alright, so that's a total of 3 hits. Well, if you're the Germans, you're probably just going to take these 2 and a cruiser off. You'll keep these here. So, Counterattack, 2 damaged battleships at 8. That's 2 hits. 1 fighter at 9. That's a 3rd hit. 2 cruisers at 7. That's 1 more hit. And 2 destroyers at 5. Remember, there's commanders on both sides of this. So 2, 4, 5 hits. Oh, man. They're only going to have 1 unit left for next round, or they could run away. This aircraft has a range of 2. Any of these boats is going to get killed right away here. It'll be a sitting duck. But it'll block movement. We're going to run away with this one dude here. The damaged Iowa class. And the commander. Otherwise, everybody else is wiped off the map. So, the end of the fight here. These 2 run away. And the Germans still have a fighter, a jet fighter, 2 damaged battleships, a cruiser, and a commander. And these guys run away with that. The best they can do is get 1 more hit. And it ain't going to be pretty. So this will be serve as a blocker for some naval moves and possibly prevent some ridiculousness. We're just going to move it over to here because we need to do some non-combat moves, and those transports are not going to stay alive. Otherwise, they probably won't stay alive anyway, but let's just leave that right there. So, when a carrier-based aircraft loses its carrier, it's allowed to land at the nearest place adjacent, or it's allowed to move 1 space. So, it's technically in the C zone, it's allowed to move 1 space, but those carriers are full, that carrier's full, so it's going to land here at the air base instead. Alright, so that is how that looks at the end of the combats on this side. So let's go to the other side. Alright, let's do that convoy there. So there is an escort. So it's +1 versus +2. And the escort's got a carrier with a fighter on it. So, alright, convoy is do black for attack and red for defense. +2 for the black. Ooh. So that's 7, 8, -2. Is 6. The maximum that line can be damaged, as you can see here, is 5. So the Japanese just lost a 5-er. Brutal. Alright, well, $5 for the Japanese convoy. Now we got an attack back and forth. Got a fighter at 6. Oh, but it's got a commanders don't count for this, I don't think. Fighter at 6. And the sub at 3. Okay. No solution. Alright. Let's do another attack over here. We've got this one. We'll do the 1 tactical at 7. Well, 1 tactical at 7 and a destroyer and a coastal sub. So tactical at 7, miss. Destroyer at 4, hit. Coastal sub at 2, missed. Alright, so we got 2 destroyers in defense. 1 at 4 back. So we're going to probably do this. Tradesies. Alright, tactical, hit. Destroyer and defense, miss. Done. That one's done. Alright, now we got one more attack here. We're gonna do we gotta resolve the sea battle first. So that would be 2 cruisers in defense with a commander. And what do we got? We got a fighter, carrier. So a fighter at 7, commander for both sides. That's a hit. 3 destroyers at 5. That's 3 hits. So I only needed 2 hits, so that's good. Now 2 destroyers or 2 cruisers at 7 back, and they hit as well. So the cruisers are dead, and 2 counter hits. What would you take? Probably two destroyers. We want to keep these capital ships. Alright. So there we go. The naval battle is done. And now we got to do the land battle. So the land battle is going to be 1 bombardment at 5, 2 at 4. 1 at 5. There we go, that's a hit. 2 at 4. Nothing. Tactical at 7. 8 actually, that's a hit. And so, and 4 at 3. Actually, no, they're at, is it mountains? Yeah, it's mountains. So they're just at 3. The commander negates the mountain power. And we got 2 more hits. So we only needed 4 hits. One of these was a first strike. So the Japanese get to roll 3 infantry back instead of 4. And they did not have a commander, so they got 1 hit back. So if you were me, I would probably just lose one of these dudes and have a stack of 3 instead of a stack of 4. And the Japanese are going to go down these 4 dudes. And it's worth 2. Okay. Good to know. Sometimes you need to know that. So, this plane's going to land over there. This plane's going to land over here because it can't land on this recently captured stuff. I'm going to do some non-combat moves here. We're going to non-combat move this dude to here. And this carrier is going to go 1, 2, 3. And these planes could actually land on the air base. But it doesn't give them an extra move because they still got to take that extra move to get onto the carrier. So just leave them there. So that's it for, really that's it for what the Americans have for fleet on this side. Alright. Non-combat moves on this side are a little bit more squirrely. So we're going to move 4 guys from here. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And we're going to help out these British. And these 3 are going to go 1, 2. Because they are not at a base. And these guys can only go back 1. So we're going to just leave these guys as blockers. Let's throw 1 up there. And 1 up there. They're not really good blockers. Let's just leave them with the freaking units. Alright. So that's it. And, yeah, I'm just going to stop her here. And, oh, I'm just going to stop it here, and I got to show my builds, and I didn't actually properly show that. I forgot to set it up. Okay, here we go. A couple last things for the American turn here. We've just placed 2 fighters in New York, 5 destroyers in C-Zone 30, and 1 destroyer in C-Zone 43. I forgot I had those guys to place, so I did non-combat move these guys just together in there. Alright, non-combat moves on this side. We just landed the planes where they belong, landed this plane back over to this air base, moved this forward, and for our final remaining purchases, we have this here, which moves forward. And we're buying that 1 goddamn tech roll for jet aircraft. And we still need to resolve this battle here. The plane has 2 moves left, so if it survives, it will land with the British over here. Alright, let's find that out, and let's do this tech roll. So the tech roll, I need an 8 or less for the tech. Or 8 or higher, sorry. And look at that, we got a victory point. Just like that, the Americans have a victory point. Can't take that one away from them either. Alright, now let's do the strategic bomber. It's a medium bomber, so it's only 1 dice. 1d6, and we're going to roll the anti-aircraft gun at the same time. And it's anti-aircraft gun hits, but we did take 5 damage off the factory. Alright, so we lost the bomber. And the Germans need to pay off at least $3 worth of this to build 1 unit there, and all 5 to build any units there at that factory. And sadly, the anti-aircraft did hit the bomber, so it's another many casualties to the game. And I forgot to show this for the Philippines. 2 down, 2 up. And we just got another achievement or victory condition point for having all our original territories again for the US. Alright, that's it, and I'll do the summary video next. Thank you and enjoy.